Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. This is episode 517 of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Got a small little update about The Flash. Now, if you're thinking about in regards to Ezra Miller, his situation, The Wrap actually had an article pulled out that they actually contacted, the police over there, and they said that there was no arrest in terms of assault, no charges filed, nothing like that, which is contradictory to some small reports where people are saying that the police was involved and stuff like that. And also, something interesting, if you want to look at it, is that the altercation looks like it was outside and not inside a bar. So there's a lot of different things that are not adding up about that issue, including the original person wanting to delete the video and don't want anything to do with it. So I don't know. It's pretty fishy, and I think it will definitely just blow over. We haven't got any statement from Warner Bros. Or Ezra Miller yet. But this came out on comicbook.com. The Flash stunt coordinator speaks out on Ezra Miller's role as the Scarlet Speedster. The Flash's stunt coordinator has spoken out on how hard Ezra Miller has worked in his role. Eunice Hudhart is the woman behind a ton of memorable films. She talked to Film Threat about her time with numerous franchises. She was very complimentary of the new Flash. This entire road to being the Scarlet Speedster was bumpy as the DCEU had to adjust a bit after Justice League. Now things are full steam ahead to Batman's next solo outing, the Suicide Squad, and Miller's first return as the comic book hero. It was always going to be physically demanding to be a Barry Allen, but it sounds like he was up for the challenge. Ezra as Flash. Honestly, his movement, he worked so hard. He came having done all his homework, Hudhart explained. Normally, I'd grab the actor and I'll grab the character and start talking about developing concepts. He's done it all. He came and he goes, yeah, but I've been working on this. What do you think? And it was brilliant. So, very, very high praise for Ezra Miller indeed. And of course, he has worked. He's worked on it with Zack in terms of the Flash, and it's very further shows the proof that Ezra Miller knows what he wants from the Flash, knows what it needs to be done, knows what kind of character, and maybe even further proves that he likes what Andy Muschietti's direction is, right? Um, and I hope Andy Muschietti also loves the direction they're going into. We don't want any, I don't know, creative differences like John Francis Daley. So hopefully they'll be able to work together, and hopefully it's something that even Ezra Miller is proud to be in. And for this new Flash movie, whether it's just the Flash or a version of Flashpoint, or how much of a version of Flashpoint remains to be seen. But I feel it's still gonna go, full speed ahead, if you will. And I'm very happy to hear about that. So it looks like they're still going on with it, and I can't wait to see more once all this COVID-19 blows over. Now for the other movie, Matt Reeves is talking about the Batman, right? Matt Reeves talked to Nerdist on the humanity of the Batman. Matt Reeves tells stories about finding humanity in unexpected places. Let Me In found a friendship between an immortal vampire and a bullied teen, while his Planet of the Apes movies asked us to see ourselves in a society of rapidly evolving simians. Soon, Reeves will bring that humanist eye to the Dark Knight with his film the Batman. When I chatted with him about his Cape Crusader film and his new Amazon sci-fi series, Tales from the Loop, its own exploration of humanity in a curious space, Reeves explained that there was only way he could make a story about the famous costumed crime fighter. Though taking on Batman seems like it'd be a daunting task, Reeves told me that he approached it like any of his other projects. I'm going to pitch the version of Batman that I would do, which is going to have a humanist bent. And who knows if they'll have any interest. If they don't, then I won't do it, and that'll be okay, Reeves explained. I was really lucky that they said yes. Reeves revealed that he sees his penchant for this humanism as a necessity of his projects. It's not even like that's an approach that I take, like it's some kind of idea of, wouldn't it be great? It's sort of the only thing that allows me to understand how to do it, he said. I can only understand where the camera goes and how to talk about the story, how to write the story, how to talk to the actors if I understand emotionally what it is I have to do. Otherwise, I'd be lost. The director added, some people are incredible choreographers and they know how to create incredible visual dance or all that kind of stuff. And I love that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, I have to understand it emotionally. As for those creative inclinations will impact the Batman, Reeves shared a little of what he was most excited to explore when it came to billionaire Bruce Wayne. I wanted to do an origin tale. I wanted to not do not an origin tale, but a tale that would still acknowledge his origins in that it formed who he is. Like this guy, he's majorly struggling, and this is how he's trying to rise above that struggle, Reeves explained. But that doesn't mean that he even fully understands, it's that whole idea of the shadow self and what's driving you and how much of that you can incorporate and how much of it you're doing that you're unaware of. Reeves continued, there's something in there that feels very psychological, very emotional, and it feels like there was a way of exploring that along with the corruption in this place, Gotham, that feels very current. I think it always does. There's almost no time when you can't do a story about corruption, but today it still seems incredibly resonant, and maybe from my perspective, maybe more so than maybe at other time. Not too much in giving away the plot during this interview. He does, really explore, like the title says, the humanity of the Batman. He's going to go deep into the character of Batman and how this person, I guess, puts on the costume and and how much of that humanity will still be there, which is something that it kind of it's explored here and there. Christopher Nolan kind of explored that a little bit. Even maybe a little bit of the Burton. You get a little bit about Ben Affleck's Batman exploring that humanity as well, but at a later time in the career of Batman. This is more towards the beginning, I would believe, but it's still not an origin tale. That's an interesting approach, and it further proves that this Matt Reeves Batman is going to be his Batman. This is not connected. I mean, if you didn't see it or know it by now, this is not Ben Affleck's Batman, and I don't even think this is a reboot of Ben Affleck's Batman. It's essentially just the Batman. It's just Matt Reeves' Batman. It's just in his own little sandbox. They're letting him play in this lone sandbox, letting him develop his own Batman movie, not interconnecting it with anything else, and possibly, depending on the box office though, not having any kind of expectation to be part of a greater universe. Okay, so that seems to, for me, appears to be what is being kind of sort of being revealed here by giving Matt Reeves the opportunity to actually hone in on his own idea for the Batman and not necessarily what others' idea of the Batman or even connected to the DCEU even at all. So, and also it seems to reveal here, seeing that he's talking about how the situation today and how he would work in today would appear to be a modern tale. And we've seen behind the scenes of thugs with cell phones, so it's not the 90s. And I think this is a modern tale. It's a new tale, and it's not even part of an overall overarching universe in any fashion, right? But time will tell when if this does good, and how it will, how the studio will perceive this, and how they want to continue or not continue the story, or if Reeves and of course Robert Pattinson agrees to continue as well. So right now I'm looking at this as a potential Joker situation. This is the joke. This is a Joaquin Phoenix Joker situation, in which Todd Phillips Joker is like a one-off. The Batman could be a one-off, or it could span at least two more. A trilogy, as some reports have been saying. But it's definitely, it's got its own thing. It's going to tap into some psychological, emotional, and humanistic type of tale in terms of this Batman, amongst possibly other comic book parts in it, because there's going to be a lot of villains in here. So very interesting. Let's see how this continues as we get back from COVID-19, the quarantine, and they get back into production, and we'll see more from Matt Reeves' work here. But talking about Batman, Jim Lee has done this. He said, Day 8, Batman Beyond from Arkham Knight, as chosen by the higher bidder of Dr. Fate. Thank you, Deval, with your continued generous support. All proceeds to benefit struggling comic shops during this crisis via BINC. 3-day auction now live. So they're auctioning out, pictures for the proceeds to benefit. So struggling comic book shops. And so this is awesome. Really, Jim Lee is fantastic. He is an incredible artist and draws very well. But some people have noticed that this is awesome. Everything looks awesome. It looks almost like Predator-ish. But Batman Beyond, Arkham Knight, and then we got a little something over here, and I think people have seen it. Very in the corner, you see the awesome looking, the awesome BVS Ben Affleck Batman armor positioned right there. So that's great to see that little homage in a current Jim Lee work, showing you full well that even now they appreciate the BVS. The BVS conversation, indeed, and it's just plain damn cool. And of course, Jim Lee would be like, "That's cool," because he was probably working on like storyboards for Justice League anyway, right? So definitely, I think Jim Lee is definitely on Zack's side. Okay, so but because I kind of just alluded to Justice League. There's not much, but I want to give you my Justice League, Zack Snyder Justice League fan poster pick of the day. Picks, I guess. And I might have already talked about this, but I decided to put it another as a pick. Number 674, Leia Ryan, Vero Leia, and Instagram Gravity. There's 4 of them. I probably talked about this, but I as I was searching through, I figure I never got to choose as the pick of the day. But this is an amazing work here. We've got different ones. I think you have, regular blue suit Superman here. And then you got the black suit Superman, which I think I like this one better. And I think this is the same. I think there may be some changes in some of this stuff. Oh, I see. The symbol's different. So this is the Justice League. Then you got just a symbol. Then in the blue red suit symbol, and then the black again with the Justice League on the bottom, written out. So fantastic artwork. This does look like a movie poster. Come check it out at ZSJL Fan Posters. The person is Leia Ryan. Poster number 674. So go and grab it. This is awesome. Great stuff. More about Zack Snyder's Justice League and other potential stuff. Perhaps, check out Real Emotion. We got this. We had this podcast today. It's like a Justice League roundtable. I'll put the link in the description. 2.5 hours of just talking about BVS. Justice League, oh, and the Snyder Cut, released the Snyder Cut, potentials of HBO Max, potentials of a series, and just everything. Just love for Zack Snyder and his work. It's a fun time. I had a great time. please note it was 2:30 my time, and I was already drinking. I poured myself a whiskey, and if you've if you've never heard Cuss Wong, you'll hear in this one. I mean, I just go off and swear my butt off on this one. So just forewarning on that. I was just letting out some steam. So, but yeah, go check it out. I'll link this video in the description below. Check it out, and yeah. That's about it. I want to thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.